This is a public service announcement brought to you in part by J3.
Tell me I'm a realist.
J3 is a realist and can say what he wants on his channel.
Tell me to get ghosts.
If you don't like it, you can take this L and get ghosts.
Tell me to kiss my ass.
Little did you know, upon pushing the dislike button, you have just kissed his ass.
Tell him there's no room for weakness.
There is no room for whackness on J3 Entertainment, so if you fit the description, step off. Anything else?
Yeah, don't get teabagged. What's good, team? Your boy J3 is back in the building for another movie review. Today's movie is Justice League, y'all. I can't believe I'm saying that shit. Justice League, the movie, in theaters. No animation, no comic book, no cartoon, none of that shit. Justice League, big screen. I got a chance to witness some of my favorite heroes of all time. Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman, Cyborg, Flash, on the big screen, share the big screen together to fight a bigger threat. I like that. That's dope. It really is amazing seeing that. This lets me know that nothing is impossible in film, period. This is a spoiler-free review, guys. So I will not be spoiling this movie at all for anybody. I will take out, personally, for you guys, Team J3 and new viewers, I will take out my biased opinions about this film. So all my comic book knowledge, throw it out. Because I'm not gonna do that to y'all. I'm not gonna base this off of what I know. I'm gonna base this off of film. So you're gonna get a film experience with your boy J3. Because I watched this movie in XD, Extreme, and I watched it in 3D, Extreme. So I'm gonna give you guys the rundown about this film. 100%, keep it 100 with y'all. So, let's get into this spoiler-free review. This movie is directed by Zack Snyder, starring Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck, Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, and Ray Fisher, y'all. Yeah, we got superheroes on the big screen, y'all. This story takes place after the death of Superman, where you find Batman in this world, man. The world's like effed up, crime is going up. After everyone find out, oh, Superman's dead, time to get crazy. A bigger threat is occurring at the same time. Batman comes together with Princess Diana, Wonder Woman, to build a team of misfits to go against this bigger threat. That's the movie, y'all. So, what did J3 think about this movie, y'all? I gotta start off with the story, guys. The story and the writing for me is, I think, the biggest part about this movie. The story, I have to say, guys, is what it is. It was a basic story, y'all. It was very bland. It had no, the stakes was whatever. It was very bland for me. The story could have been much better, y'all. The story, I think I understood where they were going with it, and I get it. But it was very basic, and it really hurt the film in a lot of ways. The writing really killed a lot for this movie. I felt that the writer, Chris Terrio, did a terrible job as a writer in this film. Certain scenes didn't add up. Certain situations didn't add up. A lot of inconsistency with these characters didn't add up. And it was due to the writing. The writing was choppy. It was all over the place. It was like, I understand this movie had a lot of problems, and before they even released it with the reshots. Shout out to Joss Whedon for coming in and taking over the story and stuff like that. And you see good elements in the writing in certain parts of this movie. The sad part of it is that you can tell it was reshots. That's the problem. A lot of inconsistency with these characters, y'all. The characters, a lot of these characters, the Justice League members show potential, but because the writing was so bland and terrible at the same time, you couldn't get what you really knew. You couldn't get what the movie was leading up to. You know what I mean? it was telling you something, but you would never receive it. You know what I mean? Through the character development, through the writing. The casting, I have to say, I ain't gonna lie. Everybody did their thing in this movie. The acting was on point. Jason Momoa's little lines here and there. Gal Gadot saying her thing. Ben Affleck did his thing. Ezra Miller did his thing. Ray Fisher did his thing. Shoot, even J.K. Simmons did his thing. Amy Adams. You know, the acting was on point. I really like the acting. It ain't, but it really did its thing in this movie. And it actually what kept this movie going for me was the characters. You know, the acting, the ability, you know, showing me certain things that I was needing in this film to keep me going. So I have to say that the acting was good. The writing bad, but the acting was good. And it really balanced itself out where a lot of people I can see not really pay attention to the actual writing because they were so intrigued by the characters. The characters really stole the show. You kind of really looked at them like, okay, these are superheroes on screen, y'all. This is the first time we're getting it and they're superheroes. So I see it. It's not more of a visual thing. It's more of a, you kind of feel it. You know what I mean? Not 100% feel it, but you feel it. So I get that. And I understand the audience will feel that also. The entertainment factor was off the roof, y'all. This movie is what I call entertaining. This is an entertaining film. Everything was going on. You're all in it. You see the characters. You see them doing things. You see them doing that. Flash is running around. Cyborg is doing his thing. Batman is Batman to a certain degree. You got Wonder Woman kicking people, punching people. Freaking Aquaman coming with freaking stabs and shit. It was stuff going on. A lot of stuff was going on. Very entertaining. Jokes up the freaking roof. Everybody had a wisecracking ability, which I thought was cool. It makes it a little bit more human. I don't agree with all of that, but I understand it. It was really cool seeing it. You know, Batman might say a little something here. Wonder Woman say something. Aquaman's got a little something. Cyborg says. Everybody had something to say. And I like that. As far as within a group, that is honestly a cool element to bring in a movie when it's done correctly. Overdoing it becomes a problem for your boy J3. Shout outs to the way they ran The Flash. They overdid a lot about that. Telling jokes. Just stop it. Let them be smart and witty and come with the jokes like that, because this is the element that you're building. This is not a kiddie movie. These stakes show that death is coming. These are serious elements. It's not as dark as Batman v Superman, but you see the dark elements. You know what I mean? And to have a character like the Flash constantly joking, I really felt that was a waste of my time and space, and you shouldn't have done that to that character, because you told me little things about him that I wanted to get in. I wanted to know about him, but you always ran away from it, ironically, and you made a joke of everything he did. So it was like, what have you done with this character? I will break down my favorite and my least favorite character. After watching it the second time, I have to say, my favorite character, it is what it is. My favorite character, after watching the second time, my favorite character is Wonder Woman. Originally, when I watched the first time, my favorite character was Aquaman. Because I guess I was so mind blown by, oh shoot, there's a new guy on screen. He's cool, bruh. This is tight. This is Aquaman on the screen. And he ain't the typical Super Friends Aquaman. This guy's cool. He got a little swag to him, you know what I mean? This is tight. That was my first favorite. But after watching it again and going in like Lenny from The Simpsons, really watching it, Wonder Woman is my favorite character. Wonder Woman, and the reason why is because simply Wonder Woman was able to, we understood what she was in Wonder Woman, the actual film, and coming over into this film. And I seen a lot of those elements transition over, but I also saw a lot of those elements not, like they weren't there. But for the most part, she was the best character out of everybody. She was the beacon of this movie, the light of this film. My second favorite character was Ray Fisher as Cyborg. Ray Fisher as Cyborg was really nice, clean, important. and I like it. I dig that shit. I dig it. I like Ray Fisher as Cyborg. I honestly like him as Cyborg. He brought a dramatic part to the movie, and I think that really goes back to his background as far as a Broadway actor. And I saw it. Could have been better? Absolutely. I think they should have really went 100%, 110% full drama with Cyborg as a character, because Cyborg, besides Wonder Woman, had more depth than all of the characters. You knew where he came from, you knew what he was going through, you understood what he was about, you understood what he was scared about. You got this character, you got Cyborg, and I love it, because I'm as an African American man, I'm really afraid of when they bring African American characters to screen, because sometimes they make them jokes and people look at them and they look at them as trash. But Cyborg really was that dude, and I really enjoyed it. The next favorite was Aquaman. Aquaman brought a new element to him that I thought was really cool, and I really enjoyed him. I enjoyed everything he was. He was cool, he was refreshing, and he was new. And I can't wait to see the actual Aquaman film. I know this character is going to transition to a different Aquaman. I'm betting money on that. But for what it's worth, without me putting my comic book biases in that and trying to say what is right and what's wrong, I actually liked the character. Really enjoyed him. He was fun. My next favorite was Batman. And everyone's like, damn, Batman's at the end. And the reason why Batman was at the end, honestly, is because as Bruce Wayne, he got a lot more Bruce Wayne time. And I hate to say it, but he was basic. He was basic. It's like they got Batman and Bruce Wayne mixed up. Batman would do things Bruce Wayne should do, and Bruce Wayne was doing things Batman should do. And it really effed it up. I mean, Bruce Wayne don't throw threats. That's a Batman trait. Those are the difference between this character. Even though it's the same man, he plays different roles in different situations, different suits. He has a Bruce Wayne suit, he has a Batman suit. And when I seen Bruce Wayne being a dick, being like not caring, and the situation that this was the level of threats that they were getting, I was like, that ain't Bruce. That's more of a Batman trait. So you need to put your suit on and be Batman. And give me that. Don't do that in a Bruce Wayne skin. I don't like that. That right there is what really dumbed it down for me for Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne was basic, and they were trying to make him something, and it didn't work. And I don't blame Ben Affleck for that, because if you ask me, Ben Affleck is a great Batman. I like Ben Affleck's Batman. I don't like the writing that they gave these actors, these directions they gave them, because they really dumbed them down. They took away so much depth from them characters that I just couldn't fathom. And I was like, man, you're killing me. Why are you doing this to my guys, man? You're killing me. But it is what it is. Batman, Batman was dope. Hands down, Batman was dope. If you ask me, Batman, they took away that because I'm Batman. They took a lot of that because I'm Batman stuff out of this movie. So we got a real human Batman. I mean, Batman was fighting parademons and he had to fight. He was struggling. He wasn't one punching people, disappearing. He wasn't doing none of that shit. He had to fight, and a parademon wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for him to defeat. And I liked that. What I didn't like about Batman was certain elements, like I said, that Bruce Wayne stuff, where he'll smile, he'll be a little awkward. He'll do things where it's like, what the frick are you doing? Man, I ain't Batman. What the hell is this? This is weak. I don't like that shit. Because that ain't my Batman. But for what it's worth, Batman was good. Ezra Miller, Flash, was the worst. He was my least favorite of the whole movie. And the reason why is because he really reminded me of that dude, the Samoan cat off of the Amazing Spider-Man film. He was in the way. They told me about this character, the Flash. He took me in his house. You gave me a little depth with his dad. You told me something about him. You showed me that This character cares about his father. He wants to make it better for him and everything like this. But you never explain much with him. You just said, this is the fast guy. Be fast and funny. Which I ain't gonna lie. I laughed. I am guilty of it. Your boy J3 laughed. I laughed at about 3 scenes that he did, and I was like, that was funny, bro. That was funny. And some references he gave, I truly enjoyed because it makes you really happy to be a film goer. Some of the references he did, I mean, no lie, I did. But it was overdone. It was like, stick the fork in this potato, it's done. You gotta quit, bro. Stop it. They made a mockery of that character. They made a mockery of that character because you told me he was so important, you ran and got him, but then you didn't really use him. You see what I'm saying? Like, you didn't use the character. He has this ability to be super fast, but he ain't fast enough. He ain't there when he needs to be there. Some people tell me the Flash is an OP character. Yes. In this movie, he was that dude, but he never got a chance to be that dude. And I felt they really wrote that wrong. They took that away from that character. The Flash could have been that dude, but they took it away. They gave me all these elements about him. He was this dude. He would say witty shit like, I could do this faster than you think. I could do this. I could do that. Well, show me. Bad on this film in the writing and editing, because if they did do this in the film and showed his true potential and gave us some space within them jokes and showed some serious elements, because I felt the character should have been way more serious because the way he felt about his dad. He felt the way about his dad. He was heartbroken. This kid went through trauma. And he didn't portray any of that in his growing up as a man. He didn't show it. He didn't show any of that depth of that dramatics of his mother. If you guys don't know Brea Allen's story, it's not a spoiler. Brea Allen's mother was killed. His dad was accused of the murder. His dad served in Ironhide prison for murdering his wife. Flash was there, Brea Allen was there, saw everything, saw his dad did not kill his mother. But no one believed Barry because he was 9 years old. So, showing this kid grow up with these emotions, trying to make sure he loves his father, he wants his dad out of jail, all this stuff like that shows me a man, not a boy. Working 4 jobs, surviving on his own, shows me a man, not a boy. And they kind of threw all that under the rug, said freak that, make him funny and joking and run around and have fun all day. You would think the way he was acting, he grew up in a 2-parent home and got everything he needed, and this was just a hobby. And I didn't like that about the character. That's why he's my least favorite. But he was very entertaining. I laughed. I had fun with him. It was cool seeing it. For the first time, seeing my Flash on screen, running, doing his thing. I truly enjoy seeing all the characters on screen. Now, I don't want to speak on other people because I don't want to spoil anything for you. I'm going to get into the villain, Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf was trash. And the reason why I say Steppenwolf was trash, and I mean, it was good trash. It was good trash because he looked tight. But elements about him was just bogus. You can't tell me you came here 5,000 years and you're a general, which they say, you know, he's this guy, he comes here, he wants to create this new world that he grew up on. This guy means business. But I couldn't take him serious at all. I took him more serious with the storytelling of his arrival years before all this occurred. But I couldn't take him serious in this. I felt he talked too much. I felt the character shouldn't have been doing all that. You know what I mean? He really talked too much. I was like, what the hell, man? Are you gonna do something or not? I felt as a head of this world that you're doing, you're coming to get these mother boxes, you're coming to get this stuff to lay waste on everybody, but I don't take you serious. You didn't put fear in me. I didn't say this dude, this is the dude. This is the dude. I didn't say Steppenwolf was weak, but he's not the weakest villain I've ever seen on screen. That's a fact. He actually put in work. He got some fight scenes in, and I really enjoyed that. Let's get on the battles. I enjoyed watching the solo introduction of these characters. I really did. I like seeing Batman do Batman. I like seeing Aquaman do Aquaman, go into Atlantis. I like seeing that. I love seeing Wonder Woman. Probably had Wonder Woman's Mytho and Wonder Woman, for me, had the best scenes. Wonder Woman did her thing. Wonder Woman, you know what I mean? I was feeling it. I was in it. And that's only spoiler free. Spoiler is different, but spoiler free, Wonder Woman did her thing. I love Cyborg's one-on-one with his father. This boy Ray Fisher, man, I like Ray Fisher. I like Cyborg in this movie. I like that one-on-one he had with his dad. I really did. I liked it. I liked it because it gave him the humanity factor, and he still was human, but he wasn't no longer human. And I loved it. It was like a Beauty and the Beast thing with me. I've been saying that a lot in my videos, but it really was. I didn't appreciate there were a lot of battle scenes, but there wasn't a lot. It was kind of the main two that battled. Three. It was Batman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. Ray Fisher really didn't battle. He was more of a techie. Flash really kind of ran around. He was really in a way like he didn't really belong there. If you ask me, he was just running around and giving support to the team from a distance. I guess if you want to accept that, that's cool. Let's get on the directing. Directing, I gotta say, is different because there's two directors behind this movie. I'm gonna talk about Zack Snyder and then I'm gonna talk about Joss Whedon. Zack Snyder's directing was basic. It was okay. I feel that if we got the final cut, he might lose, he might win. It's a 50-50 because of the choppiness of the movie really hurt the film. Like it had elements where you were getting somewhere and then chop, next scene. Kind of like how they did Batman v Superman, which I did not appreciate and I didn't like it. So I would say the editing and the directing, all bad on that part. But then I worried because I say, why would you do that unless you had completely destroyed something and they say, get that out the movie. And then you have Joss Whedon come in. Joss Whedon had a little bit of time and he got the money, but he had to do a lot of reshots, and you can tell. My gosh, you can tell the reshots, but his scenes that I truly believe they were, because I ain't gonna lie, that was some Joss Whedon stuff. Because if you follow these directors and writers and stuff, you know their work. Joss Whedon had some of the sweetest scenes. He actually gave the characters a lot of depth in his scenes, in the little scenes he got. So Joss Whedon as a director, on his part, I'm gonna give him a B. Zack Snyder, I'm gonna give him a C. And the reason I give Zack Snyder a C because they chopped the stuff out and I couldn't see his true vision. So Joss Whedon still C. So I'm gonna give it, the directing was cool. It's just that it was really choppy because I understood you had two different directors. It is what it is though. Visuals, trash, bad CG, bad green screen. Bruh, ladies, it's bad when you watch it in both formats. IMAX, HD, all that stuff, and 3D HD, and you see everything for everything. And you're like, what the hell? Bruh, this looks terrible. It's a cool shot, but it looks bad. There were scenes where Cyborg looked like melted metal. There were scenes where you can see, like Aquaman had a scene when he was talking to Bruce and he was in the water. He was in the water and you can see the water layout and you can see it can go as far as some ice and then you see a backdrop. That shit looked weak. You could tell that was a reshot. That shit looked weak. I was like, ugh, and how he dived in the water. That, hey, Jason Momoa, you need to come with some more diving. That dive was weak. What was that, man? Oh my, that was weak. That was weak. But The visuals were bad CG, bad green screen. 3D was trash. I didn't feel anything 3D. It didn't need to be in 3D. This movie should have been strictly IMAX and spent more time worrying about that. Could have put some more money into the actual scenes. Like I said, Cyborg, the CG was bad. Actually, though, I ain't gonna lie, the CG was really good on Wonder Woman than it was in Wonder Woman. When she was doing her thing, the CG I thought looked better on certain elements than it did in Wonder Woman. So I will say that. It got better on some parts, but in other parts it didn't. I think they overdid the Flash's CG. Every time he ran, there was electricity everywhere and little pixie dust aftermath. I'm like, what is that? Why is that there? Why are you doing that? Just be fast, bruh. Superman runs, ain't all that damn sparks and stuff. Just be fast. I felt that if they had did the Flash's speed correctly, we would have felt more for him. Like, oh shoot, Flash is getting faster, bruh. Is that lightning getting thicker around him? My gosh, this looks amazing. Man, the Flash is really putting in work. But if every time he ran, it was the same thing. And we never see him run. We always saw this. I thought that was over exaggerating. You should have just showed him Flash doing Flash things. Just speed up the pace. I would have loved that. You know what I mean? I would have loved it. But I can say this. We finally got a Justice League movie, y'all. And I ain't gonna lie, just by jump, it gave me a twinkle in my eyes. Just seeing my superheroes on screen, y'all. I enjoyed this movie. There's a lot of problems, but I understand what the problems come from. And as a moviegoer, I enjoyed this film. And I said I'm gonna take my biases out of this. But this is a cool movie. I watched it twice. And I ain't gonna lie, I could take it. It wasn't what really hurt me in the movie is me knowing. And I will talk about that in my spoiler review. But me knowing things is what hurt the movie. But I took that out of this review. This was a good freaking movie. I don't understand why it's getting so much hate. I think people need to take their biases out of the reviews and actually think about the movie. Review the movie for what it is. It's a cool movie, man. It has a lot of problems. But I actually did a movie rating system on this one. And by me rating it, as far as, oh, I forgot to talk about the music. Oh, my bad. Let me get into that. Because that's one element that put it up one notch. The music. Oh, my gosh. The Batman. 1989 Batman. Danny Elfman. The music was dope. I love the music. The music is what really gave it. The movie was at a point with me. And I'm going to tell you when I get to my grade, it was at a point. It was at a point. But by that music coming in, that sheet went, boop. I was like, cool. Because y'all know I was worried about the music. I was worried about the transition of Junkie XL type movie with Danny Elfman's type skills. And Danny Elfman was able to pull that motherfucker off. I love the twist he did with the Batman. I'm buying that soundtrack. So yes, the movie has its problems. It's not a perfect film. However, there's elements about this movie that make it great. The entertainment, the cast and characters, the music. There's things that make it basic. The story, the story, the directing, and there's things that just was like, fuck, you really killing me. And that's the visuals. You know what I mean? That's just the visuals. But it is what it is, y'all. This is a cool movie. I say go watch Justice League. You will enjoy Justice League. If you want to get that full spoiler review, watch my spoiler review. I will go in depth with these characters. But my grade will stay the same as far as a movie. And and you guys know I give a J3 grade. So my J3 grade is always going to be different. But like I said, this isn't a perfect movie, but I give this movie, I was going to give it a C+. But because the music was so good, it's going to get what I originally said this movie was, a B. I give Justice League a solid B because I was able to watch it twice. I enjoyed it both times. There's things I didn't like, but I enjoyed the movie. I'm going to take my family to watch this movie. This is a cool superhero movie. Compared to the other stuff that I've seen in my life, this comes nowhere near. And Rotten Tomatoes, you reviewers out there are freaking biased, and that's effed up. This is not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's a good film, and you can truly enjoy it. This is a B superhero movie, and that's just the bottom line. All right, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed my spoiler-free review. It's me, J3. I want to give a shout out to my Patreon family for donating to J3 Entertainment, for giving me, helping this boat float, for helping get the supplies for this channel. It's amazing. I truly appreciate you guys. I want to give a big shout out to all the Team J3 members. We 10,000 subscribers deep, and the sky's the limit, and we keeping pushing. Make sure you push that subscribe button if you into the real and the real deal, and that's for real. Your boy J3. And make sure you thumbs this video up if you enjoyed this review. J3 out.